Hello, this is Riding with Ree. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Now, I know that I said this week's video would probably be the pole work clinic, but I have a confession to make. I was all set to record, I had my GoPro on, and I realised that I'd left the battery out, and obviously I wasn't going to get off and go and get the battery, so I wasn't able to film it. But I will film next week's lesson where we're doing more of that pole work so that you guys can see a bit more of it. In today's video, we're just going to do a chilled Sunday hack with Sarah, who is new to the yard, and her lovely mare Millie. Before we dive into that video, there are a couple of things that I am really excited to share with you. The first of those things is these. Over a year ago now, I started looking for an equestrian planner or diary where I could record my goals and what I was going to do each day and then look back on my progress. And I couldn't find what I wanted on the market, so I sat down at my desk, scribbled out these handwritten notes, found a female designer to help me bring it to life, and then got them printed. And that was when this equestrian planner was born, and I will show you the inside pages soon. These have been really popular with you all, and I am so grateful for every single sale. It's incredible to see something that I made come to life. And so this year, when I did a reprint, I added in two new colours. The first of the new colours is this beautiful navy blue, a classic and a perfect one for the tack room. And the second of the new colours is this stunning hunter green. I'm so proud of all of these. Let me show you a little bit of the inside pages. So firstly, the outside, this is a vegan leather which has a waterproof coating, so perfect for being out and about in the yard. It says Equestrian Planner at the front there, and then the back just has my logo. So super simple, minimal and classic. The first page just says Equestrian Planner. There's just a little note from me to help you feel inspired as you go on your first planning journey. And then you open up and you have a first page which just has personal details and then your goals for the year. So that's where you're going to start thinking about what you want to do. Then you have your monthly page spread. So this is just going to help you decide what's happening on every month. It's completely undated, as you can see. This just means that you can actually start the planner at any time of year. And then you have 5 weeks worth of these. So on the right hand page you have each day and what you're going to do on that day. And then on the other side you have a goal for the week, and then you can write notes on every single session so you can keep track on your progress. And then to finish off, at the back of the planner you just have several pages of notes and a little holder if you want to add anything in there. And that's it. So with these, there is free shipping to the UK, and try and keep the cost down as much as possible with shipping internationally. There's gift wrap available and then standard wrapping, and I'm so excited for you to see these new colours. The second thing I wanted to show you was the riding coat that I'm actually wearing. I am test driving this in collaboration with Equus. This is the Beauce waterproof riding jacket. It is super long. I've been wearing it a lot to try and get a real feel for the jacket. I wore it at the Lullingston Park ride. The Beauce Cygne is a lightweight riding coat bursting with features that make it a strong contender for any equestrian during the colder months. For example, the hood you can see here is adjustable and removable and has a soft fleece lining at the inside of the collar. The coat's fabric is water resistant and breathable with fully taped seams, and one of my favourite features is the well positioned 2 front pockets, perfect for storing a phone within easy reach for quick access. Finally, I absolutely love the fact that this coat comes with elastic leg loops to keep the coat in position at the thigh when riding or during wet and windy conditions. Alright, let's get into today's video. Good morning, lovely Woody here. I've actually already done most of my grooming because I had to crack on a bit this morning. So we'll give you an update, most of the updates after the ride, but I thought I would show you how he looks now that he's been clipped, because you won't have seen that. Very smart, apart from the stable stones. Yeah, much easier to keep clean when he's clipped. I think he looks very smart. And also you can see this black rug is actually a Premier Equine liner. So months and months and months ago, before I even found Woody, I did a horse shopping list thing, video. I'll link to it if you want to watch it. And one of the things I talked about was doing rug liners instead of individual rugs, because they're easier to store, they're easier to use. And I started doing it, and I have to admit I had my reservations over whether it would be quicker and easier to actually do these. And so far I've been really impressed. They're actually really easy take on and off. I've only just bought a second liner now, so I've been putting this one underneath his stable rug and then swapping it over to his turnout. And I thought that would be really annoying, but actually it's been really quick. And there are a few times where it's been a little bit warmer in the morning, so we've taken off the top rug and left this one on. And it's just handy. They're handy to have around, they're really nice. And because all of the dirt is hitting this liner, these are obviously much lighter to wash than a rug with metal bits on it. And it means that the top rugs don't get so dirty. Bonus. I'm just gonna take Woody over to the solarium to stand under for 10 minutes just to warm up his back before we go riding. It's quite a chilly day today, and I'm actually also in my Beauce waterproof riding coat. So here is Woody under the lights. Because he's so quick to groom now that he's clipped, I'll typically groom him whilst he's having this little treatment for 10-15 minutes and then turn off the lights, tack him up and get straight on and out the door. So super handy for days when we're working a little bit harder or when we have the time to do it. So we started out on our ride with obviously lovely Woody and then Sarah and her lovely mare Millie, who is a 6-year-old Irish sport horse. And I took them along this path to a hack that I love. And if you followed my channel for a little while, you're probably quite familiar with this view. This is one of my favourite rides. This section always reminds me of the Scottish moors. I don't know what it is, the heather. I mean, there's no heather, but you know, it just looks more like, and I always wanted to go and ride on the Scottish moors or the Welsh Highlands and whatever. So I love riding up here, and the view is great because it's so high up. So I'm going to skip this along and show you a little bit more of the view as we go. There we go. So it opens out onto this beautiful expanse of land. I'm just telling Sarah what she can see in the distance on a good day when it's not cloudy. But yeah, we're super lucky to have this. So we ride along this path for a little bit longer and then we head down into the woodland. I'm going to skip it off because I think I'm going to give you whiplash or make you feel car sick if I keep turning my head like this. So down through this lovely woodland, the reason I'm going down here is actually to get to a stretch of grass where if the ground is good, you can have a little canter. I'm trying to think if I've shown that route on here before. I'm not sure, so we'll just get through it together. And I thought since I didn't have much time to catch up with you before riding Woody, I would pose my topic of conversation for the week here. So it was just the other day that I did my pole work lesson and then had the pole work clinic. And I was saying to my instructor and I was saying on Instagram that it's only just now that I feel I'm really starting to get to know Woody and scratch the surface of us as a partnership. And it really got me thinking about how much we potentially underestimate how long it takes to get to know our horses. You know, I bought Woody in March, it's now November, and I feel like I constantly say, I'm really starting to get the hang of him now. And then I find a few months later that I really understand him even more. And I look back and I'm like, oh, I didn't know him at all. I think it's a little bit like, you know, when you're sort of 18 and you think you're an adult and you're like, yeah, I'm really grown up. And then you look back when you're like 25, 26 and you're like, oh, I was a baby. And then you look back on that, I'm sure, when you're older and you're like, oh yeah, I didn't know anything. I think it's like that, where the longer you go along, the more strength your partnership has and the more you realise you've got to know each other. Go on. Why are you being spooky? You've been down here a million times. Go on. So this is quite nice. There's a little bit of open just in this first field where you can have a very, very short canter if you want one. Just in here. You can just get one in before the road, before it closes again. But it's very short, but then it gets a bit rutty again. But ready? Okay. Enter. Woody. Steady. Steady. Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo. Good boy. Steady. Ooh. Boy. Yeah, just here, across the road to where that house is. Come on, Lee. It's a little bit spooky up here, but just wait for that car. It can be a little bit loud. Walk on. You're worse up here with a friend than you are on your own. Whoa. You're fine, go on. Steady, steady. So the other topic of conversation I have for you all is, you might remember Lynn and Lyric, the grey horse and the lovely lady who I've ridden out with a bunch of times to dressage, and she was the one who was with me the day that I fell off on Woody after that fun ride. And she is quite into her dressage, and she has started working on a dressage to music floor plan. And there is a clinic coming up nearby with someone who does a lot of dressage to music. So she's going and she invited me along. So I have never even considered dressage to music. I always thought it was quite cool and interesting to watch. But I'm going to go along and just kind of have an introductory lesson. I've spoken to the instructor and asked if I can film it, and she said I could. We might run into some problems around what music I can share on here from a licensing point of view. But either way, I'll take you along for the day and it should be quite fun. That is going to be in early December, so stay tuned for that. So today it's about 6 or 7 degrees, which is much colder than when I wore the Beauce Cygne riding coat at the Lullingston Park ride. I also had my race safe on that day, so I was a little bit warmer anyway. And I have to say I was really impressed. It feels like quite a thin coat, so I wondered how many layers I'd have to wear. I have 2 base layers on and a hoodie, but I do get quite cold. But it's done really well. It's got real windproofing. It feels like it comes high up enough on my neck. And the elastic pieces that go around your legs, they feel quite weird when you're stood up, not on the horse. And I wondered whether they would feel restrictive, but as soon as I was in the saddle, they felt like they should have been there all along. So yeah, thumbs up for the coat. Really, really pleased with it. All we need now is to ride in a massive rainstorm and really test its capabilities. Good boy. So here I can show you what it actually looks like when I add a Premier Equine liner to one of my rugs. So the idea behind these liners is that you don't need loads and loads of rugs to layer up. You just use these liners, you pop them underneath your existing rugs, and you change the weight of the liner as you go. So this is a 100-gram liner, for example, and then you'd have 200 grams and whatever. So these ones fasten at the front, as you can see, around the neck, and then you can sort of see there's a little Velcro buckle up the side there, at the side of his neck, which will attach to the front of the top rug, and then it attaches at the back as well. So let me show you that. So this rug I'm picking up now is the Premier Equine Oconee turnout, and most of the Premier Equine liners will fit with all of their rugs, except for, I think there's a couple of stable rugs that aren't applicable, but you'll see it on the website. I also believe the Rambo liner system is also interchangeable with the Premier Equine ones, but again, just double check to be sure. So this is a 0-gram turnout, and as you can see, I'm clipping the liner to the turnout using the clips at the back. So it's super simple from that point of view. So you can imagine how you'd use this turnout all year round and just add different weights of liner. I thought it would be really annoying, but it's actually really decent and I love it. So here is where you can see adding Velcro tabs around his neck to the inside of the turnout. And having done all 3 of these fastenings, I've never once seen a rug slip overnight or during the day. So I think they're really handy personally. So you do that on both sides and then you do up the rest of the rug as normal. So that is it. Just walking down to the field. The Beauce rain jacket definitely passed the test in my books. I feel really warm. We haven't had any major rain while I've been riding, so I haven't been able to test it out in that way. But otherwise, I'm really impressed with this coat. I'll put a link below so you can see it. Woody was a very good boy. He's going to go out in the field for the rest of the day. There may not be a video next week. I'm away for the weekend and I normally film on the weekend, so it depends if I can get one in. But otherwise, you'll just have to accept my apologies for the fact that I can't do one. Otherwise, we'll be back next Friday, 4 PM GMT. Thank you so much for watching. Leave any questions or comments below, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.